Hello and welcome back to another episode of Meet the Mushroom. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Meet the Mushroom. We are going to be talking about the spooky, scary jack-o'-lantern mushroom, which is why I've got my red light. Wow. Well, anyways, guys, I have a super special mushroom for this month, and it is the jack-o'-lantern mushroom. The special thing about this one is that it actually glows in the dark, which is why it is considered the jack-o'-lantern. Also, it is orange. It's very orange. I really didn't think too much about this mushroom and October. I just was like, I want something orange. So this is what we're going with. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Holly. I make mushroom art with the brand Susrooms that I have created. Throughout this entire episode, I will be sharing all of the details of this type of mushroom. And at the very end, I will actually share my character representation of this type of mushroom in a collector card and stickers that you can purchase. And if you would like to be part of my mushroom club, I send them off monthly. But yeah, let's get into the video. So this mushroom is called the jack-o'-lantern. It does glow, as I mentioned. Crazy! This is the very first mushroom that we've had that glows in the dark, so that's why I'm really excited for this episode. It is considered a bioluminescent mushroom, emitting a spooky blue-green glow in the dark. Does this mushroom have a smell? It does not have a distinctive smell, but it sometimes can smell like a little bit fruity. Interesting. Is there scientific or medical potential for this type of mushroom? So this one is kind of interesting. This mushroom contains compounds called Illudids, which are studied to be anti-cancer agents. Here's a little bit about what this compound really means. Illudids are high toxic compounds found in the jack-o'-lantern mushroom. While too toxic in their natural state for direct use, semi-synthetic derivatives such as irvolvin have been developed and studied for their potential as anti-cancer agents. These compounds have shown promise in preclinical and early clinical trials against various human cancer cells, including leukemia, tumors of the breast, lung, and pancreas. So that's kind of interesting. Hopefully we can see some results for that in the future. Okay, now what does this mushroom actually look like? So as we kind of know from like that first image, the cap is more of a orange to yellowish orange color, and so is the stem color. So the entire mushroom is made of an orange color altogether. That's why I'm wearing my orange yellow shirt today. Does this mushroom have gills or pores? So it has true gills. The difference between false and true gills has been explained in other videos, but I will make it brief. True gills are actually attached to the mushroom, but false gills look like they're attached, but they're really peelable. Pores are neither one of those, just like porous, kind of like our skin, but some pores on mushrooms can actually be peelable, like the slippery jack, which was disgusting to find out, okay? Anyways, these ones do have gills, and they're more of a orangish color as well. How big is this mushroom? Okay, where's my ruler? Ruler! Ah! It is 1.5 to 3.5 inches. That's what I have right here. 1.5, 3.5. Oh, it's a cutie pie. Oh, it's a cutie pie. Or it is 3.5 to 9 centimeters tall. I always like to do a reference for size so that whenever you're foraging or looking for this specific type of mushroom, you know kind of what to look for. And for maturity changes, just like every other mushroom, it starts out kind of like an egg shape and flattens over time. And does this mushroom have a reaction whenever it is cut? It has no reaction. Okay, now we know how spooky and scary this mushroom can be, but is it poisonous? It is. This mushroom is poisonous. Eating this type of mushroom will cause stomach issues, including vomiting, diarrhea, and cramps. So I would say that this mushroom, not edible like a pumpkin, okay? Let's just say it's not. What is the major misconception about this mushroom? The biggest one in all my research that I've been doing is that it looks very similar to the Cantharellus type of mushroom, and people eat it and it can lead to poisoning, quite literally. So kind of like the red Chanterelle that we kind of discussed, how some of those mushrooms are actually really delicious or, you know, good to eat. Although a lot of Chanterelles are edible, this one is not. So it's always a good idea to make sure of what you're foraging and identifying whatever it looks like. Speaking of that, we're going to now get into the dangerous lookalikes. The very first one that I thought looked very similar is the Cantharellus. It's the Cantharellus. It is just called Cantharellus, yeah. The cap color on this one is a light yellow. The stem is more of a yellow and it's more white at the very base of it. Does this mushroom have gills or pores? It has false gills that are yellow, similar to the red Chanterelle. Is this one toxic? No, it is edible, which is why this is a dangerous lookalike, because we're looking at a very toxic mushroom, looking at a very not toxic mushroom. And the Cantharellus has no reaction whenever it is cut. No bruising or anything like that. And moving on to our second mushroom. This one is called the smooth Cantharellus. Its cap color is more of like egg yolk color. So like that really intense yellow orangish. And it has, this is so cool, it has wavy edges to it. Whenever I was looking this up, I was like, I've got to eventually make like an entire video and a character based on this one because it's so cool and unique. I love how unique all types of mushrooms are, truly. The stem color on this type of mushroom is more of a light yellow, and it also has like a white base to it. Does this mushroom have gills or pores? This is the first one of its kind. It has neither. I think there's like a term for this. I haven't looked into it because this is not the star of the show, obviously. Some mushrooms don't have like gills or pores or anything. They just are smooth. So I will be looking into that. Stay tuned for that episode. And it's got these wavy edges to it. I'm totally have a vision for her. And lastly, is this mushroom toxic? This mushroom is also edible. This one also has no reaction when it is cut. No reaction for most of these. Okay, and number 3, this is our very last one. I've heard of this type of mushroom, but this one's kind of a weird one. This is called the chicken of the woods. I say that it's weird because look at it. I mean, hello, what the heck is going on with this mushroom? Somehow it does look very similar to the jack-o'-lantern just because of the way that it grows. The Cantharellus is a big bunch, essentially, of a bunch of mushrooms, whereas the chicken of the woods is very similar. Although they're very different mushrooms, they kind of grow the same, which is why I kind of wanted to include it. This cap, I don't even know if I can call it a cap, is more of like a yellow color, and it's more like knob shaped. Now the stem color, there's not really a visible stem, so I just said that there's nothing for this one. Again, a weird mushroom. Does this mushroom have gills or pores? This one is called a Polypore. This means it does not have gills. Instead, it is an underside that is covered with millions of tiny pores. Ooh, that are visible to the naked eye. Okay, I forgot I included that research. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if I like that. It's kind of weird. Also, this mushroom is not considered toxic, although there are people with allergies that have been known to have allergic reaction to this mushroom when they eat it. But this mushroom also has no reaction when it is cut. Okay, now I want to bring it back to the jack-o'-lantern and kind of get into the climate and ecological role. So for this type of mushroom, where can you find it? This mushroom has been reported in Europe and South Africa. Okay, cool. I also like to get into if this type of mushroom is more of a mycorrhizal or a cyparius mushroom, which means it either really likes trees and exchanges nutrients with the roots of trees, or cyparic, it eats dead things. And for this one in particular, it does eat dead things, so it is a cyparic mushroom. So the type of environment that this one really likes is with tree stumps. Is this mushroom a seasonal or annual mushroom? It typically fruits in summer or fall, or both. Okay, and is this mushroom rare? Because whenever looking into some weird things about this mushroom, like it freaking glows in the dark, I would assume that it is rare. It is referred to as an uncommon find for sure. The mushroom is poisonous and not sold for consumption. However, cultures of mushrooms are sold for ornamental purposes due to its bioluminescence. Some sources refer to it as an uncommon find. So I guess that kind of answers our other question. Is this commercially or wild harvested? It doesn't seem like it is. So it just might be one of those mushrooms that has a lot of potential for these science projects, but at the same time, it is what it is. This is a very interesting and cool mushroom, which is why I wanted to feature it today. This is the segment of the episode where you'll be guessing which one is the jack-o'-lantern mushroom. I've featured and shown you a couple of the dangerous lookalikes, so I really want you to guess which one is which, especially if you're foraging for mushrooms at all. It's always a good idea to know which ones are which, and I do this game so that you kind of have an understanding of how to identify mushrooms better. All right, good luck. Welcome back from the game. How many did you get right and how many did you get wrong? If you didn't do well, you can always just rewind and do it again. But I'm now going to be sharing my art. So for this mushroom, I really wanted it to be embraced with that like tree stump vibe. And so this is kind of what I came up with. So this color is actually the same exact one as my King Bolete. I was creating this card and I was like, that really goes. I might just keep it. And I also have, of course, my back. For the jack-o'-lantern, I always like to put the Latin name and the family. The qualities of this type of mushroom, I always do like personality ones for these mushroom types. Mimics the non-toxic Chanterelle species while plotting demise. Thrives in decay and doesn't mind the mess. A total night owl who reveals his true self after dark. Only travels with his crew in large clusters and hates to be alone. That's another thing about this mushroom that I noticed. It just really likes a bunch together. It's not like this mushroom is like one mushroom. It's like a ginormous cluster, which is super cool. Other clusters that I've created in the past have been like the Liberty Caps. They all just kind of form together. So I was like, I can't just create one of these. I have to like make them all together. And the strength of this type of mushroom, I was thinking it would be hypnotic just because it glows in the dark and I thought that would be cool. The weakness is brittle. The health points are 30 and the power level is 80. So kind of a good mushroom for like a playing card for sure. And the power move of this mushroom is called the Ember Light, which glows in the dark. Anyways, that is my card. If y'all have any questions about the card, please DM me or leave me a comment. I eventually do plan on making this like an entire game and doing a lot of fun things with these. I have a very fun episode coming soon where I'm going to be basically taking all of my cards and putting them in order in like a collector card binder. Okay, and here are my stickers. I had a lot of fun creating these, so I hope you guys enjoy them. So I kind of just made these in a bunch of 3 for every single sticker. Tried to make them look as close to that actual type of mushroom as possible for sure. And they're all kind of quirky. I also really played with the young stage of the mushroom a lot. So this is like in a younger stage. This was one of the images that I looked up. But yeah, this looks pretty sus, but it's just a baby. It's just a baby. And then this is another one. Very similar mushrooms, but I also wanted to capture how this one's kind of flatter. Now, in the actual type of mushroom, there's a bunch of these, but I just decided to do like 3, 4 at a time. And then I had to have like a variation, so I don't know, this one might be my favorite. It's a little tongue sticking out and this one just looking at it. If you would like to get this set, you can always join my mushroom club. It's basically my Patreon. So you'll basically get this entire set along with every single YouTube video that I post once a week. You'll get early access to that as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, you can always watch more. I have lots of other videos. I have an entire playlist that you can just binge the entire series. I kind of started doing these Meet the Mushroom videos, I think in like March of this year, 2025. So I've just kind of been grinding it out, doing like an episode every month, making these sets. And I have a few people of my mushroom club. For the month of September, I actually did a giveaway for a free month. If y'all hopefully got onto that. But yeah, I've been really trying to grind it out, trying to get like monetization on YouTube, watch hours and stuff. But I guess we'll see how the end of the year fares. But yeah, I have lots of new video ideas coming soon. If y'all want to subscribe, like this video, and watch my other ones. I am Holly. I make mushroom art with the brand Susrooms. And if you want to get in contact with me or see whatever I've been up to, you can follow me on all my socials at Susrooms, on Instagram, TikTok, or even YouTube Shorts if y'all watch that. I also created a website recently, susrooms.com, where it has all of my art and just basically a giant portfolio of everything I've ever made. But yeah, like I said, I have lots of new video ideas coming soon, and I also post art vlogs if y'all are interested in just keeping up with me. I post them about once or twice a month. I basically just do like a bunch of filming throughout the weeks, and then I put it all into one video. I mostly like to just talk about whatever has been going on in my life. Also school. I will be graduating from college this December, so I have been talking about like my classes and stuff on my art vlogs, but stay tuned for that graduation art vlog because I am so excited to post it. Above all else, thank you guys so much for watching. It would not be possible without y'all watching. All right, thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye. Yeah, guys. Jack-o'-lantern. Happy fall! Happy fall!